everyone, Amanda Saladin here from Love Life Yarn, and today we're going to be making some miniature pumpkins. I'm ready for fall. It's super hot here in Middle Tennessee still, although we've cooled down a little bit, but it's still swimming weather, and I am ready for fall. So I'm making these mini pumpkins with the Clover double mini weaving loom. So we're going to make this one together in 2 different colors of yarn, and then a little cinnamon stick on top for a nice smell. And it just looks really cute on there. I made this one, and then I got my family involved, and my husband has made this one with first one was made with Red Heart Soft Essentials, so you'll see that in the video. This one right here was made with Lion Brand Wool Ease Thick and Quick, so that one was nice. And you can see it makes a really nice texture, and also the cinnamon stick. And then I decided to try the velvet yarn, and these are absolutely my favorite. And my 9-year-old son Christian, who does the yarn crafts for kids, he actually made this one, and then we liked it so much we made this one too. So we made 2 different colors of the velvet pumpkins and 2 different size cinnamon sticks, and we love these. Great for fall. I'll show you some pictures of how we've used them to decorate, and we really just are enjoying these. Can't wait to make some more. So I'm going to walk you through the steps on how to set up the mini weaving loom. So if you follow the link below and pick up your own mini weaving loom, I'll show you how to make one. Like I said, we're making this one, but the steps are the same, whether you make it with the velvet yarn or a thicker yarn, it doesn't matter. So I'll walk you through the steps on how to make one of these, and you can make your own pumpkins that are woven with the Clover Mini Weaving Loom. Let's get started. The materials you'll need for this project are the double mini weaving loom from Clover. This is a single. The double is 2 together. I'll show you how to do that in just a minute. Comes with 2 singles that you put together. So it's like this. And we'll also need 2 colors of yarn. I'm using Red Heart Soft Essentials. I found that the bulky number 5 yarns really worked best for this project, so the black and the white to me looked really nice. And you'll need some scissors. So first, let's set up our looms. When you unbox it, it looks like this. It comes with these parts. You've got the frame, this part right here. The right side has the holes on the outer edge, and the left side has them inside here. And so we're going to connect these 2 in a minute. And you've got your spacing bars. They just connect like this on both sides, like so. Then you have your shuttle. This is going to help you get your yarn back and forth. There. You have your shed stick, which is going to make it a lot easier to pass your shuttle back through. You got your comb, so that once you get the weaving in there, you can get it all down even. And you have a needle to finish off your threads, and also when you get up to the top and it's kind of hard to work, you can use the needle to help you get in there. So I already put my other one together. There we go, and you just attach them together like this. And now we have our double loom. Now we're going to set up what's called the warp yarns. These are the yarns that run vertically back and forth. So to make a knot here, we're going to take our yarn. I'm using a white for this part, and we're going to push it through the hole. So fold it and push it through right here. Okay, and now let's adjust it so that we have a longer tail. And you make a loop with your tail right here, and then pull it tight. The reason you do a knot like this at the beginning is so that you will be able to take it off easily at the end. Now, Bring it underneath. There's a little groove right here. And up. And now we're ready to start winding this. So you can see I'm just going back and forth. And you're going to go back and forth all the way down to the end of your loom. Here I am at the end of my, and we're going to do the same kind of knot, very similar. You're going to pull it up through here, and hold it still so that this one doesn't get too loose. Take your yarn tail this time. We only have one in, and you're going to put it through. And I like to hold it with my thumb, and then I'm going to pull it tight. Okay, it's okay if it's long. You can leave it there. Make it easy to get off. So here is my warp yarn all set up and ready to go. The next part is going to be getting the shed stick in place. So you can see you have two of these, and we are ready to connect them. Just like that. You can see they were like they're holding hands. So we're going to go over the first one and under all of the even strands. So just over, under, all the way across. And since we put two together, it will be long enough so that we'll go all the way across our loom. You can see it's really easy. Halfway here. Okay, just keep working it all the way across. Once you have it in, just push it all the way up to the top like this. And we're ready to wind our weft yarn. I'm going to use my black yarn as my weft yarn. And you hold it in place, and you do a figure 8 motion. So you come on this side, and then back around here. I'm going to do it 6 times on this side, and then I'm just going to start my other side. So I'm going to come around, and from the side it's a figure 8. It's hard to see in the black, but you just go around, and then you just do a few in the middle. I usually do the same number in the middle that I do on the sides. And your weft is ready to go. Now we're ready to begin weaving. I'm going to loosen up some of my yarn here so I can leave a tail. And since our shed stick is over this one, you know you're always going to go under the first one. You want to be the opposite of what your shed stick is doing. So just use this over, under. You can see how it's going under each one of these, and you just keep pushing it through. I like to just kind of pick up my strand I'm going under and push it through. And it's a little harder at first. It'll get a little bit easier as we go. and under this last one. We're going to pull it all the way through, leave it loose, and leave about a 5-inch tail. You kind of arc it, and then you're going to comb it all the way down. Nice and even. Now on the return pass, you lift your shed stick and it's going to lift up your yarns for you. So this definitely makes it easier. And you just pass it through up here. So the return pass is much, much easier. Now be careful that this one doesn't get too tight. You have to watch that end because a lot of times with weaving, it wants to like bow in the middle. So you want to make sure that that does not happen to yours. So I just try to pull mine evenly. Don't want it to get too tight there. And then again, you're going to take your comb and you're going to push it all down. This one kind of came up a little bit, but I'm going to adjust it here. If you need to pull it a little tighter or anything, you can. Your goal is nice, even stitches. So you can see the contrast there between the black and the white, which is nice, lets you know how you're doing on these. You're going to repeat these 2 rows, just scooping under and over. We'll put this back down. And then passing back with the shed stick until you get up so far that it's hard to pass the shuttle through. When it gets too tight up here near the shed stick, go ahead and take that out. Took mine out already. And then you just do the same motion with just the shuttle. So you'll have to work the shuttle both ways. And when you get to the point where your shuttle is having trouble going through, just take the end of that yarn, so unwind your shuttle, put it on your needle, and keep weaving in the same pattern. We're going to work all the way up as close as we can to this very top edge. I've gone as far as I feel I can go with the needle, so I'm ready to take this off. And a lot of times I try to do it where it goes in my right hand, but here I am on this side, so I'm going to scoop this one, take it off, and I'll go back under here and take it off. So I'm just taking each one of these off. So go ahead and go all the way across the loom, taking each loop off. Okay, now I've got all my loops here, and I'm going to pull it through. It looks a little loose right now, I know, but it won't be once you pull it and even everything out. And you can let this loop go over here now by pulling the string. See, that's why we tied it in that special way. And then try to get this one even as well. And then we'll use our comb to kind of even everything out. Okay, so you can use your comb to kind of move because I made mine kind of tight right here, you can see. And now I will take the time to go through and move some of these out. Also, you'll take it off the bottom, which is obviously very easy. Just pulling it up. And again, releasing our knot. Move my loom out of the way. And we have our finished piece. Like I said, now we will take the comb and spend some time, I'll spend a little bit of time evening it out, making it a little less compacted in certain areas. And then I'll be ready to take care of these ends right here that you see. We'll be ready to take care of those where I ran out of yarn on my shuttle. And then we will be able to make our pumpkin. Now we're ready to weave in some of the ends. You can see I kind of brought some of my yarns up, evened it out quite a bit. do not weave in the top right here. We're going to use that to gather the top, and this one down here at the bottom to gather the bottom. We already have this done for us, so we don't need to worry about running a yarn in it to gather the top and bottom. Get your needle and turn it to the back and just go ahead and catch some of these yarns like this, just to keep it out of our way. So you can see what I'm doing right here. I'm just going underneath these strands. Yeah. There we go, just to keep it out of the way. Like I said, no one's going to see the back of this, it's going to be inside. So there's one. And personally, I'm not going to cut it too short because, like I said, I know it'll be inside. If it was something that I was going to see the back side, I would do more with it. Oh, that one's a little short. So what I'm going to do with this, I'm going to go ahead and get my needle going, and then I will put it through the eye of the needle. If you have a tapestry needle or a yarn needle and you want to use that instead, that is perfectly fine. There we go. So I got that there, just in a few. And I'm going to put this inside, and now I can pull it through. Make it even as much as I can there. So this is going to be our seam. You're not going to see that much. I'm going to leave these in, and I'm going to repeat where I did the same thing on this side. So do not weave in your top and bottom strings here of our weft because we're going to use those later. One of my ends was really long, so I'm going to use it to seam up the back. You can definitely use a separate strand for this, and I brought it up here to the top. I'm going to leave this out for now, and you're going to bring the right sides together. So the side that you brought your tail ends on, you're going to place that inside. I like to do mine from the bottom up. So leave this one here, and I'm going to start this yarn. I'm going to go under. Some of this might get in the way, just move it out. And then underneath on this side. Then come to the next one. The good thing about it being two colors is it's easy to see where your next yarn is. But if you decide to make these in a single color, which is also really nice, then just look for the yarns that are going horizontally. Just keep going back and forth, and it brings it in. Maybe you'll tell a little bit where the seam was, but it's going to look pretty good. And you'll end up with a tube, oh, it's getting wrapped around, a tube of fabric. So just go back and forth all the way to the top. Okay, now mine is seamed up here. You can go ahead and take your yarn needle out. And we're going to make this the bottom. So I'm going to pull this tight. And I'm actually going to tie it to that same string we were just sewing with to make sure that it stays. And we'll be putting these strands inside. So there's our bottom. can see now we have our tube here, and you're going to need to take some fiber fill and stuff this quite a bit. Let's see, that stays inside. This is the one I'll use for the top. You can take your white or whatever color you used for your warp, put it inside. That's one thing I love about projects that you stuff, because you can just put the ends inside. So go ahead and grab your fiber fill and put it in. All right, grab me some fiber fill here. I'm going to pack it in. I got way more than I needed out, of course, but I am there we go. Let's see. Pack it pretty tight, and then the top is going to actually come in. So it's going to also do this. So let's see. A little more probably. Not really a right or wrong to this one, except if you don't put enough in, of course, it's going to look funny. So, all right, let's check this out. Pull the other one. Now this one doesn't have anything to tie onto, so I'm going to end up taking my yarn needle and threading it and kind of sewing it together. Let's see. Before I do that, I'll make sure that I'm good, that I'm happy with that amount. Actually, I want to put a little more in there. So that's a good thing about it, is you can open it back up and stuff it as much or as little as you like. All right, that should be good. Just cinch that tight again, just like a drawstring bag. And you have this really weird looking round tube of fluff. All right, so I'm going to grab my yarn needle now. I'm just going to really close this up, because you saw how easy it was for me to take it apart. So I'm going to just put it underneath these end warp yarns, just to make sure that it stays. All right. I'm going to go down here to the bottom. Looks a little funny. I'm going to do some kind of sea creature or something down here right now. And I'm going to pull it really tight to where it starts to pucker in down there. And then I'm going to do the same thing down here. Pull it tight. Go across both sides. Make sure you catch these yarns. And just one more for good measure here. All right, and then I'm just going to put this one. Here's how I do my ends when I have, like, a stuffed animal or something. I just pull it out the other side and then clip it, because you can't tell the other end is in there. Throw that end away. And now I'm going to do the same thing with these ends, although this one is nice and long, so I'm going to use it. So let's just get rid of these other ends. If it will cooperate. There we go. Just put it down inside there. Poke it out the other end. And cut it off. And repeat with any other ones that you have laying around, unless they're long and they're the color you want to wrap. Okay, I've taken off my ends. I am down to this one that was long. If you don't have a long one like this, grab you a new strand, and we're going to use it, and I'll have to use a new strand for mine soon too. Since this one's connected already, I just thought it was nice. The first place I'm going to want to find is my seam, because I mean it's okay, but it's not perfect. And I'm going to run this right through there and put it through and back out. Get it in the right place. Make sure it's right where I want it. And pull. Okay, now go up here. And we're going to, since this one's not long enough to do another one, or go through the middle. Cut that off. Since this was not long enough to go through the middle, we're going to just pull it tight here. Go ahead and secure it a few times. And then back up and cut. There we go. And then I'm going to start a new strand, and I'm going to do more so that it gets more of a pumpkin look to it. All right, grabbed another strand here. And I'm going to secure it pretty much the same way. Let's start right here where I have a lot of this color hanging out. And I'm going to leave a tail on purpose. I'm going to loop it around. And then I'm going to tie it because you need it really to be able to be pulled tight. And nobody's going to see this part. So I will tie it a couple times so that I can have a nice secure thread, and I'll go back and I will, put this inside. Now I have a pretty long group here. And I'm going to get it to where it comes out the middle. I'm just going to loop around this middle string. All right, so let's see. Do I want to do 4 or do I want to do 6? Let's do 6. So let's come closer together. And let's, same way, go through the middle. And now down here. Nope, I want it really towards the center. There we go, that's center enough right there. And pull really tight. Just don't break your yarn. There we go. And now just try to make it as even as you can. Take a look at mine there. There we go. Pull there. Now I'm going to go in between. And one more. Oh, it's getting my end caught in there. One more right through here. Oh yeah, 6 makes it look much more like a pumpkin. I almost did 4 now. I'm glad I didn't. Because at least now this is more of a pumpkin shape. We'll put a stem on. We'll even out our pieces that need it. And it is going to look nice. Okay, so I'm going to secure this in the same way I did before. And then I'm going to weave these in. Here's my finished little guy. If you like, of course, you could always do a contrasting color here to really make these stand out. And most of it here is black, which is fine here. You can see the bottom. Now that we've pulled it all in, it looks nice, or maybe that's gonna be the top. Could be either way, it doesn't matter. And you've got your pumpkin shape. And if you don't like for me, I don't like the way this is kind of, you can always take your comb and kind of reevaluate where the things are if they look too close together. Now that they're pulled in, and this part doesn't have as much stuffing as I would like. So that's something I'll remember when I make the next one. That's all right. It does not do perfect. Think about it. Pumpkins and like gourds and stuff are always a little misshapen. So that is okay. It can have a little character to it. It can be however you like it to be. So I'm really happy with the shape of this. We'll get our little stem put on next. All right, now for the stem. I'm going to actually attach a little piece of a cinnamon stick. You could use different things. You could use a regular stick, you could make a little piece of fabric, another woven piece, or you could buy fabric and you could make the stem. And I've got my mini glue gun I picked up really cheap, like $3 at Walmart. And I went for these Gorilla Glue sticks. I don't think you have to have this particular one. You can probably use regular glue sticks. But I just want to make sure that it stays attached. And so these are supposed to be really good for that. So pick these up for like $8 for a package, or you can get the regular glue sticks for much cheaper. Okay, my glue gun is heated up and I'm ready to glue it on. I'm going to use this side. I don't know, I like this side better as the top. Now remember, glue guns are very hot. This one's warmed up. This is the mini high temp, and I've had more than one student hurt themselves with these. So I'm just going to squirt some hot glue in here. It's okay if it has a little string. If you ever used hot glue before, you know that that's part of it. I'm going to hold it down. And there is my finished pumpkin. You can see glue, hot glue like sleeve string, so once it dries, and that one cooled down super fast. And there's another string on there. So just remove your hot glue strings and your pumpkin is ready for display. I hope you enjoyed this video tutorial. Find more than 100 free patterns at love.life.yarn.com. And be sure to check out the blog posts because I have other ones of these, including a velvet and a much thicker, a super bulky yarn pumpkin, so you can check those out. And be sure to subscribe. Thanks for watching.